Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. And I have black fatigue. Little background on me. I am half black and half white. I can actually trace the ancestry of my black ancestors to actual slaves from colonial age America. So I know where I come from. I am very happy to be born in America. I love my country. Um, I've never, ever, in particularly, okay, I've always thought all racism was wrong, be it white on black people or black on white people. I've always thought all racism everywhere was always wrong. I've actually never once in my entire life hated white people for being white. Never done it. Never saw a need to do it. I have felt that push from the media to do it for some reason, but I don't know. Just never got around to it. All my best friends in high school and in college also, like almost all of them were white, and I just looked at them as they're the same as me, really. You know, just different skin color. Um, but I also understand that in society, I am automatically grouped in with black people. Just because I'm half black, I'm automatically grouped in, and I understand that. Um, I also think, well, I hate being grouped in particular with ratchet behavior. I have never been about that life. I've never been to jail. But I also understand that because a large portion of black Americans uh, engage in that behavior, and I kind of look like a good deal of them somewhat. I'm grouped in as a possibility of someone engaging in that behavior, and I'm honestly sick of it. I do not like that. I'm not a racist. I'm a classist. Ratchet behavior is low class behavior, and what has allowed it to continue to me has actually been giving giving a lot of blacks a pass when there's just some things that are just not excusable. There's some things that are just not excusable. And I know, especially with this Carmelo Anthony thing, like a lot of people I know kind of look at this case as like, okay, so what comes to my mind is the O.J. Simpson case. Like, blacks then looked at that case as like a revenge on white people for cases like Emmett Till. Like and I seriously think black fatigue is the whole society in general basically being like, look, this is not excusable. We need to start holding these people accountable. You know, that's not all of it, but that is definitely a good portion of it. And if that's what it is, I have that. I've had that since 2009, actually. I've been waiting for people to catch up because, like, me, I actually do not like being grouped in with ratchet people, ratchet behavior. I went to, I majored in history. Um, I got a degree from a very, very good school, the Naval Academy. I understand now. I do think no matter what, no matter what, um, Mercy to the guilty is always cruelty to the innocent, regardless of skin color. And I think the only way that this country is going to be able to move forward and heal is if all people, and this includes black people, are held to the same standard. You don't get any pass for any bad behavior. Like I now look at DEI has to go, and I've been saying this actually. I've said this as far back as 2010 with affirmative action. I said essentially giving black people in particular, I'll call it what it is. It is a sort of privilege. It's going to create a new kind of racism where some black person is going to get a very prestigious position, like, I don't know, a doctor or a pilot or some position. And they're not going to be looked at as you got that for your merit. They're going to be looked at as you're a lower performer. You're probably incompetent. And you only are where you're at because you're black. Because you were able to check all the right boxes on the job application. I personally have turned down benefits that were offered to me exclusively because I'm black. So in high school, I went to a majority white high school. I was told basically I could not show up on MLK Day. I showed up anyway because I looked at myself as I'm not any different than any of these white kids, any of these Mexican kids. I'm just as good as them. I don't need a pass. I don't need privilege. That may sound weird to some. I mean, why would you turn down a free day of school off? But I mean, that's what I stood on back then. It's like, I'm just as good as any one of you. And I always was like, I was always a hard worker. My mentality is, if you, the way I see it, in America, I would say race has never defined my life. It's only given it power if I gave it power. And I chose, that's not what's going to be any reason I succeed or fail is not going to be racism. It's going to be because either I did the work and I completed it and I achieved it through force of will, through self-discipline, or if I failed because I didn't have the force of will or self-discipline. You know, I was like, if I fail, it's because of me and no one else. If I succeed, it's because of me and no one else. And I've proven I am able to win. I'm a winner. And America has allowed me to win when I put my mind to it. I love my country for that reason. I've always loved my country. I always will. Having said that, I really do think black fatigue is actually a backlash against, quite frankly, injustices that have been committed on white people. And I really think, in general, there is some good that can come out of black fatigue. There is some good that can come out of it. And I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. I really do think there comes a point where you cannot help someone unless they are willing to help themselves. And that applies to American blacks. Like, at some point, they really do have to ditch ratchet behavior, and they have to make a choice themselves to do this. Like, no one can force them to do this. They have to make the choice themselves. And I think what's going to bring them closer to making that choice is, quite frankly, giving them the freedom to fail. Treating them exactly in every way. And this includes getting rid of DEI and also affirmative action. I really think, that's actually might be the way to go. Because then, after, if there is no excuse, no leg up, and I really do think at least affirmative action when it was made at a time when there really, the black community was different back then. Like, there were a lot more, in particular, there were a lot more blacks that they were trying to get opportunities and weren't getting them. But they were legitimately putting in the effort. But I think this new generation is different, and it would possibly warrant getting rid of all of that. No more privileges, no more leg ups, no more you get this because you're black, no more, no nothing. Just you succeed. If you succeed, you get the same rules put on you as everybody else. Blanket standard for everybody. No double standards in any way. And I really, really hope black fatigue will lead us in that direction. That's all I gotta say, everybody. As I always say on my channel, I wish you fair winds and following seas. And take it easy, everybody.